Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakah Kodash. I want to give double honor to the elder apostles, the great millstone, for teaching us this truth. And I want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are in the streets of Babylon, testifying to this truth week in and week out. Alright, so I'm just going to let the Spirit go. I didn't really prepare anything, so we're going to just start off in Judges 15 is dealing with Samson, as in Samson and Delilah. Alright, so it says, "But it came to pass within a while after, in the time of wheat harvest, that Samson visited his wife with a kid," meaning like that's a small, I think, goat. It's not an actual child. "And he said, I will go into my wife into the chamber. But her father would not suffer him to go in." So, let's see. Genesis 38:17. Precept. "And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, Wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it?" Alright, so that's, I guess the only correlation was the kid, which was the child goat, or a child, I believe it's a goat. I have to look that up. So we'll go back to Judges 15 and verse 2. "And her father said, I verily thought that thou hadst utterly hated her. Therefore I gave her to thy companion. Is not her younger sister fairer than she? Take her, I pray thee, instead of her." So basically, Samson's father-in-law gave his lady to another, to Samson's companion, and that was wrong, because that's adultery, for her to go out with another man when Samson was basically dealing with her. So let's keep reading it, showing you, also, because the dad thought he hated her, but it didn't matter, it's besides the point. You can hate one of your wives and you can love another. All right, when we go into the kingdom and we have other, multiple women, and really it'll start in Jacob's trouble, because women are going to be humbled. And it says they're going to be fatherless children and widows. All right, so women will be humbled to the point where you are going to have women. You may even have women that you don't even want to deal with in that time. But they're going to be looking for protection, and a man of the Lord is going to be like more precious and valuable than gold. Okay, so. Verse 2. Alright, so we're going to go back to verse 2. And it says, basically he was trying to give up his other daughter who was prettier, but that still didn't change the fact that, what he did was wrong. It says, verse 3, "And Samson said concerning them, Now shall I be more blameless than the Philistines, though I do them a displeasure? And Samson went and caught 300 foxes, and took firebrands, and turned tail to tail, and put a firebrand in the midst between two tails. And when he had set the brands on fire, he let them go in the standing corn of the Philistines, and burnt up both the shocks, and also standing corn, with the vineyards and olives. Then the Philistines said, Who hath done this? And they answered, Samson, the son-in-law of the Timnite, because he had taken his wife." So he took revenge. Samson went and took revenge, and he burned up. He went and burned up the Philistines. So keep reading. "Because he had taken his wife and given her to his companion, and the Philistines came up and burnt her and the father with fire." So the Lord let judgment come upon the father and the woman that went off with Samson's companion, you know. So that was a judgment from Yahweh, you know. So, you know, you always see when in real life, you know, well, this is real life, but you always see in your nowadays, you see a woman or whatever, a man, you know, mainly the woman, when they leave, then all of a sudden their life just becomes 10 times harder, you know, because they left their husband. So you see that in the real world all the time, man. And then how much more if you leave a man of God, you know, then you're really going to suffer as a woman. Verse 7. And Samson said unto them, and in this case, you know, Yahweh just took her and the father out at the hands of the Philistines. And Samson said unto them, though ye have done this, yet will I be avenged of you, and after that I will cease. And he smote them hip and thigh with a great slaughter. And he went down and dwelt in the top of the rock Etam. All right, and you got to remember, Samson was an Israelite, so he was literally just a badass, you know. He was just walking around fucking up whoever, the Philistines, you know, any of them. Verse 9, then the Philistines went up and pitched in Judah and spread themselves in Lehi. And the men of Judah said, why are ye come up against us? And they answered, to bind Samson. Are we come up to do him as he hath done to us? So the Philistines were, you know, beefing with the Judites. And, you know, they're saying, hey, we just want to take Samson. We don't want nobody else. We're not trying to make a war. We just want Samson. Verse 11, then 3,000 men of Judah went to the top of the rock Etam and said to Samson, knowest thou not that the Philistines are rulers over us? What is this that thou hast done unto us? And he said unto them, as they did unto me, so I have done unto them. So these guys had a 2/3 mentality, right? They didn't have their brethren's back. Instead, they're like more worried about their lives. Like they think, you know, hey, well, the Philistines are ruling over us. Now they're gonna fuck us over because of you, you know. So that's that 2/3 mentality, you know. Just like the 2/3 in America and Babylon, they want to stay in America and they want it to continue, you know, forever. And in their mind, they think it's gonna continue forever, right? And let's just precept that real quick.